to your handphone, to your computer, and you can just open. It has a dictionary. So for example, you click it, the Pali. All right. So you go to this software. You can find in Microsoft Store, Digital Pali Reader. So when you open this one, literally you Pali English also can. And it's much more clearer if we can look at the English and we look at the Pali. All right.
So this one is, this one is in the, this one Sutta, if you put the Sutta, it's in the, it says Sutta Central. This one.
Yeah, it's also in Sutta Central, yes. And this is from the Pali. Sutta Central means is translated from Pali, right? So this one is just to show you that if we want to understand some meanings, we can look at the original Pali. It's clearer. Because some of the meaning we look at it is not clear. Okay, so when we need, we just come to this software where you can find the Pali and English translation. So this is called Tipitaka Pali Reader. All this, you can find the whole Tipitaka, right, in the internet. Nowadays, we don't even need to have physical book already.
So you're saying that digital, this one, come up with the thing that you show.
Oh, to have this one, you need to go to the setting here. After you install this way, go to setting and then you go to tools and then there's an extension here. Install the English translation. So there will be Pali and English, right? There are other extensions also. There are many things here. Full integrated Pali, English, Burmese, Sutta Nipaka, Dhammapada, and so on. Yeah, you can download here. Okay. Everything is actually in the internet. Even Jataka commentary, Pali, English. All right. So this is now the newest way of learning lah. You have to reduce the sound. Okay. Okay. Now, when we read the text, when we have problem, we come to the Pali again. All right. Now, this is Majjhima Nikaya, MN 54, Potaliya Sutta with the Potaliya householder, translated by Bante Sujato. So I have heard, at one time, the Buddha was staying in the land of Anguttarapans, near the town of Dias named Apana. So what is Anguttarapans? Anguttarapa, okay? It's Anguttarapa. So, okay, so it's Anguttarapa. Here, it just say a place. So you can see here, only Burmese dictionary have this. Okay, but actually this software, another software which I always have, it has 6 languages. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Buddha, whatever. Okay, so if you say Buddha, nowadays what we learn is we are using as much as dictionary as we can. You see, you have the Myanmar dictionary, Vietnam dictionary, Pali dictionary, and so on. Right? For example, Buddha, you do that. So when we look at this Anguttarapa, okay, you also can find, you click here, you can find it's a name of the country, name of the people of the Anguttarapa, right? So that's how we are picking out the knowledge. From one Pali, we learn, okay, it's a place, it's a city. Okay, Apana, what is Apana? It can be a shop. Okay, Nigama is a town. Okay, so it's a town, market town, or near Apana. So Apana is a town, it's a name, but the meaning also is a shop, right? Apana is a shop. Okay, so all right, I will go back to the Sutta Center and this one. All right. Okay. Then the Buddha robe up means he dressed out in the morning, taking his bowl and robe. So it's one of the place, it's one of the traditions. So if they are they're supposed not to be apart from their bowls and robe. Even like monks going from one village to another one, they have to take their bowl and robe. Right? The Buddha also follow. Yeah, the Buddha lay down these rules. So enter apana, which means it's a shop for alms. He wandered for alms in apana. After the meal, on his return for almsround, he went to a certain forest grove for the day's meditation. The day's meditation means in the daytime. Having plunged deep into it, he sat at the root of the certain tree to meditate. Now, here is just say that Buddha is trying to tell us, when we read the sutta, what is the best place to meditate? Either you go to forest, okay, because it's very quiet. Like if you go to some of the forest meditation center, you feel very quiet. The environment very quiet, so your mind instantly become calm. All right. Then also the Buddha recommend go to the root of the certain tree. Why? Because you don't need to sweep the floor, you don't need to lock the room, you don't need to take care of the properties. You just sit under the tree. So when you finish, you just leave it. You don't need to worry about the building. Okay, so all these are, we call it the suitable place to meditate. Forest grove or root of the tree. Okay. The Potaliya, the householder, also approached that forest grove while going for a walk. He was well dressed in sarong and cloak with parasol and sandals. Means he's very fashionable, you can use it in a way. And punched deep into it, he went up to the Buddha and exchanged greeting with him. Okay, now here sarong they say lay retire, cloak is a lay retire, right? I think it will be more Burmese style. Sarong means the under part one. Cloak is a piece of cloth cover the body. Now when he say exchange the greeting, so we can yes.
But what can we say? Parasol then is umbrella.
Parasol is kind of umbrella, yeah. So yeah, umbrella. This one. Yeah. So chatuk, yeah. You can trade you see another translation, umbrellas.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes we look at the different translation, we get a better idea. Parasol is much more formal, much more nicer word. Umbrella look very common. But if we use the word parasol, it shows that he's quite rich, right? From the English word, we know that he's a rich person. And from here, he's a rich person. He go to the forest and he exchange greeting. While when the greetings and polite conversation were over, he stood at one side. So when he exchange greeting means that he's a friendly in nature. Because when we see when Buddha he met other people, not all, everybody will exchange greeting with the Buddha. Sometimes they just ignore the Buddha. If they are Buddha disciple, they will bow down. If they are not Buddha disciple, it depends on their attitude. If they feel very friendly, they'll exchange greeting. If they feel that they don't like Buddha, some will really walk away. There are also patterns one. Okay, when the greeting and then he stood at one side. Okay, now, and the Buddha said to him, "There are sit householder, please sit if you wish." Now he stood at one side means he was angry, right? He didn't want to sit down. When the Buddha said this, Potaliya was angry and upset, thinking, the ascetic Gotama addresses me as householder. He stays silent. Now, when you see the word ascetic Gotama, okay, now you see here, ascetic Gotama. Now here you see the address changed already. Actually, Gotama means he was angry at the time. But now he say worthy Gotama. The mind had changed, maybe more polite already. Sometimes it's interesting, we see how the people at that time, how they talk to Buddha. Some will call him Master Gotama. It also depends on translation. Some of the translation, they say Master Gotama and so on. All right. Okay. He said Gotama addressed me as householder. He stayed silent. For the second time and third time, the Buddha said to him, "There are sit householder, please sit if you wish." Because Buddha was sitting and he was standing, considered quite impolite. So that's why the Buddha asked him to sit. And normally you see in Dipitaka, always first time, second time, three times. Seldom have fourth time, fifth time. It's always why? Why is always this number, It's very normal. Yeah. Okay. When he said this, Potaliya was angry and upset, thinking, the ascetic Gautama addressed me as householder. Then he said, worthy Gautama, is neither proper nor appropriate for you to address me as householder. Now, even though he was angry, but you can see the terms change already, worthy Gautama. Now, we go to the Pali and see the difference, right? Yeah, okay. When he angry, he call it ascetic gotama, samaṇa. You know the Malay word sami. Sami means monk. Monk actually coming from the word samaṇa. You know, samaṇa we call it ascetic, right? He was angry, but later he called it gotama. You can see the terms change already, samaṇa and gotama. Gotama means here it translates good gotama. But actually gotama means more polite, more friendly. Okay, from the Pali bawanta. Is more polite, friendly, dear. Okay. And when we check the Pali, we always use the Pali text society because it has more meaning, dear, my friend, and so on. Okay. So from the ascetic gotama, samaṇa gotama, now change it to gotama. Now it does mean that his mind already soft. Okay. Compared to first time, even though he's angry, now maybe Buddha talk, invite him few times, he's a very much more better already. Okay, now we come to this one.
1944, is it like during when you read the Sutta, if somebody say accepted Gotama, is it something like they are not
They are not the
very
Buddhist.
respectful?
They are not Buddhist yet, and they are not so not the Buddha disciple. Some it depends on how they say. Some may be polite, some may not polite. But because they look at the Buddha, at first some even don't know he's a Buddha, right? He was a Buddha, so they thought he was just an ascetic, a monk, lah. Okay. It's not to say all must be impala.
It's a layman that they address what the Buddha's disciple, how they address
They call it Bante.
Bante.
Bante, all right. Okay, now. All right, so somebody will read up to here to here, okay? Kuma? Okay. Don't draw, ma. Last time got drop.
Well, householder, you have the features, attributes, and signs of a householder. Worthy Gotama, it's because I have refused all work and cut off all business. Householder, in what way have you refused all work and cut off all business? Worthy Gotama, all the money, grain, gold, and silver I used to have has been handed over to my children as their inheritance. And in this manner, I do not advise or reprimand them, but live with nothing more than food and clothes. That's how I have refused all work and cut off all business. The cutting off business, as you described, it is one thing, householder, but the cutting off of business in the noble one's training is quite different. But what, sir, is cutting off of business in the noble one's training? Sir, please teach me this. Well then, householder, listen and apply your mind well. I will speak. Yes, sir, said Potaliya.
Okay. All right. So from this conversation, we know that. So at first, the Potaliya, right? He has the look of a householder. Now, what is the look of the householder? According to the description, he was wearing what? Cloth, sandal, what else? Umbrella. Umbrella, okay. Yeah. That is the first thing. And he was taught that cutting off business. How did he cut off the business? By
Giving the inheritance to the children.
okay, giving giving away all the wealth, right? And then wealth, and also not working. He stopped working, right? Stop any work. Yeah. That then he was taught that that was why he thought that he already let go, right? Now compared to Buddhas look as required ascetic. How does a samaṇa look like? Standard samaṇa will be bald, okay. And what else? Robes, okay. Single, maybe plain looking lah. We call it plain looking robes, huh? And what else? Bowl, okay. means go for arms round, right? Arms round, right?
Maybe I think barefooted also.
Barefooted sometimes, not all the time. Yeah, but if we look at the comparison, this called sandal, and this is maybe barefooted. Now barefooted is go for during the arms round, right? But do you need to barefooted all the time? It also depends. If like some during the Buddha time, there are some they say they are belong to they stay in Himalayan mountain where the mountain slope was very sharp with rocks and so on. So they request not just one layer of sandal, not enough. They want 3 or 4 layers. Then the Buddha also agreed because the terrain it was very hard for the foot. All right. So I think nowadays we need to be more sensible lah. You know, how can you barefooted walking on the tar road? You know, the tar road it's very bad for the road. Not bad for road, very bad for our foot. Okay. Yeah. Like last time they only walk on the dirt road. All right. Now how are you going to walk on the tar road outside? Okay, sensible lah. Huh? Now the different addressing. At first he was called the ascetic gotama. After that he called it gotama. You translate a worthy or good. Actually here means friendly, more friendly. All right. So the change already. Because at first he called ascetic gotama because the Buddha looked like ascetic, right? So there's a Buddha here. Okay, now. Then the Buddha say cut off the business. Now the Buddha will start to explain how he cut off the business. Okay, so we start. Okay, next. Read slowly, okay? Don't read so fast. Read slowly.
Householder. These 8 things lead to the cutting of a business in Nobles 1 training. What 8? Killing living creatures should be given up. Relying on not killing living creatures. Stealing should be given up. Relying on not stealing. Lying should be given up. Relying on speaking the truth. Divisive should be given up. Relying on speech that isn't divisive. Greed and lust should be given up, relying on not being greedy and lustful. Blaming and insulting should be given up, relying on not blaming and not insulting. Anger and distress should be given up, relying on not being angry and distressed. Arrogance should be given up, relying on not being arrogant. These are the 8 things stated in brief without being analyzed in detail that lead to the cutting off business in the Nobles 1 training.
Okay, continue, yes.
Sir, please teach me these 8 things in detail out of sympathy. Well then, householder, listen and apply your mind well. I will speak. Yes, sir, say Potaliya. The Buddha said this.
Here, okay. Now, what is 8 things here? First one is killing, stealing, lying, divisive speech, greed and lust, blaming and insulting, anger and distress, arrogance. Okay, so I already this morning I was doing like this. Okay, so 8 things. Now the Buddha haven't really say in detail yet, right? So you got killing, stealing, lying. So if we look at it, this belong to the 5 precepts. Okay, first, second, third. Now divisive speech is also belong to the same precept of telling lies.
Yeah.
Right. Now greed and lust. Now you can see the word greed. In Pali also greedy, you know. It sounds like actually Pali, when we look at the Latin, right? Latin and sometimes we compare with Pali, you find a lot of similarity. Yeah. Because they have if we trace the history, how they call it Indo-Aryan, right? So you can see the English greed is a greed, right? Loba. Ninda rosa. Now, koda is anger. Upayasa is distress, despair. Now, arrogance ati mana. In Pali is nice. Mana actually means conceit. Ati means over conceit. Okay. So if we look at Pali, it has a much more richer meaning. Okay. We call it superiority conceit. It's a conceit by superiority. Means you think you are better than others. All right? So mana, Pali is conceit. Atimana means superiority. So we call it pride, arrogance. Okay. So now, pana is, what's the meaning of pana? What's the meaning of pana?
Living beings,
Tata,
Saji.
sate, pana.
Feeling is it?
Living beings.
Beings, okay? What kind of beings?
Living.
Breathing beings, okay? Now, so atipata, what's the meaning of atipata? Fail. Make fail. Make the life, the breathing. Pana means breathing. You know? Like sape sata means beings. Sape pana means breathing beings. Sape buddha means beings come to be. So atipata means you make the life of breathing beings, literally breathing beings, fail down. So nothing to do with bacteria or virus or whatever. Now stealing. Dana
Sorry,
is,
excuse me.
yes.
The
Living.
Anapanasati also, is it something related to this?
Anapanasati. No. It's different root. You should learn Bali.
To
Dana. What's the meaning of dana?
Giving.
give. To give.
Give. Okay. So adana is
Not giving. The-
take.
the-
Yeah. Yesterday we learned the prefix. You all want to attend Bali class? Come for my Wednesday online class. Okay. Dana is take.
Dana is give. Adana is take.
Adana is, I think my students show. Okay. Yeah. Adana is sorry. Okay. Dana take. When you put the adana, opposite of take means sorry, dana is give.
Give.
Opposite of dana is take.
Take.
So adina means not given. So you take what is not given. That's the literal meaning of stealing, you know. You take what is not given. Right? Musa is false, Wada is speech. Now, this divisive speech, Pali also interesting. It's actually combined of two words. Piya, all right? Piya plus sunya. Piya means loved one. Empty. Yeah, you know the word sunyata? You all heard about sunyata, right? So make the love empty between one person to one person. That is called divisive speech. You say something, so you break down the relationship, slandering in a way. All right, so this is called piya, pisuna vacha. Okay, so now he say only 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Then the Buddha continued. So the Buddha already cut off this, the noble person. Nobles one training. So the nobles one training is to cut off these 8 of them. 8 of them. Okay. Now, if we look at in terms of Abhidhamma, so killing will be due to what? Now, noble person means they have to reduce the defilement, right? So, okay. So, this is a nobles one. Okay, noble one, they need to cut off this act. Now, so if you look at it, killing is due to which? Normally, you all know that if any of the defilements is due to greed, hatred, delusion, right? Okay, killing due to, is it greed or hatred?
Hatred.
Hatred, yeah. Even though let's say somebody kill the pig or whatever, because they want money. By the moment of killing, is always hatred because you cut off the life. So in Abhidhamma, stealing.
Kill for food because he's greed to eat it.
Before that is greed, but at the moment of killing is hatred. Okay. Now stealing. Greed. Yeah. But it can be hatred also. You hate that person, you steal the money. It's possible also. Okay. Lying is also. It can be both. Okay. Now, divisive speech. What do you think? Hatred, yeah, definitely hatred one. This one also greed. Okay. This one branding inside is hatred, okay? Anger is hatred. Now, grief, sometimes in grief, even though it's not hatred, we call it passive anger. Anger is actually, we call it active, active. Distress is passive, means you angry, but you make yourself, it's kind of like passive, you burn yourself. So we call it passive anger, right? Arrogance is always, it's also due to, arrogance is due to, not hatred, due to greed. Because you cling to yourself. You cling to this I and it's better than you. Cling to the idea of self, I'm better than you, right? So that's why it's called atimana. In abhidhamma is actually greed rooted, right? So like this, we know that the noble person will already reduce, right? Yeah. So for example, I think definitely the first enlightenment, they will don't have this already, diversity, and also no killing, no stealing, of course. First enlightenment, stage of enlightenment, never break the 5 precepts. All right, so definitely don't have this one. Most of them breed hatred. Yeah, most of them. Yes. Maybe mana. Yes, mana only eradicate at the arahant stage. Okay. Anyway, there's a Abhidhamma point here. So okay, let's go for the then the Buddha explain here. Okay, next person, please read slowly. Okay.
The Buddha said this: killing living creatures should be given up, relying on not killing living creatures. That's what I said. But why did I say it? Is when a noble disciple reflects, I'm practicing to give up and cut off the fetters that might cause me to kill living creatures. But if I were to kill living creatures because of that, I would reprimand myself. Sensible people after examination would criticize me, and when my body breaks up after death, I could expect to be reborn in a bad place. And killing living creatures is itself a fetter and a hindrance. The distressing and feverish defilements that might arise because of killing living creatures do not occur in someone who does not kill living creatures. Killing living creatures should be given up, relying on not killing living creatures. That's what I said, and this is why I say it.
Okay. All right. So thank you. Now we look at this. When killing, the back effect is what? Yeah. So now the back effect, we look at it. So if somebody killed, what's the result? Okay. Now let's see this one. When you say I will reprimand myself, sensible people after they will criticize it. So what does these two talking about? If you analyze it in terms of social means first he will burn himself first, right? When he do something bad, he will reprimand himself. Okay. The second one is the outside people. All right, the outside people will criticize him. So two sides. He feel unhappy. Then people outside also unhappy with him. All right. That's we call it in terms of social. So these two are talking about in terms of social, right? Social issue that means a human relationship. And then this is talking about the result of what? After dying, he will be born in a bad place. That's talking about karma, future karma. And this is talking about the result we can see right now at this lifetime. You don't need to wait until the next rebirth. Okay, so karma is not to say it must happen in the future. Right away, he will scold himself. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Okay, and then this one means that the same answer as above, right? So when you dot, that means that the Pali Peleya, so the same answer. if he's still lying and so on, he will also have the same. He will reprimand himself, and then people will also scold him, and after that he might reborn in a bad place. Yeah. Then all the way to the arrogance. Okay, you can see the answer is like that. So sometimes in the Tipitaka, there's a lot of repetition, So it's the 8 things, they only repeat first and last. In between the 1, 2, 3, 4, they skip it. So that's why some of the vulnerable, they say when they try to memorize the Pali Tipitaka, one of the difficult thing is they have to memorize which part is considered as a skip off, no? Yeah, because some different sutta, some part is they call it concise, and the other one they concise. The way they concise is not different. It's not same. Get the point or not? Because here they skip, they put the first and put the last, they skip the beginning, right? But in some of the sutta, they might skip all, you know. So one of the Tipitaka said, they'll say this one difficult point when they try to memorize the whole Tipitaka. You know, in Myanmar, they have many monks memorize the whole Tipitaka. Yeah. So this is one of the Peleya, we call it the skipping of some of the Pali. Okay, I think this one. Okay, you can read this one. Next one.
These are the 8 things stated in brief and analyzed in detail that lead to the cutting off of business in the noble one's training. But just this much does not constitute the cutting off of business in each and every respect in the noble one's training. But sir, how is there the cutting off of business in each and every respect in the noble one's training? Sir, please teach this. Well then, householder, listen and apply your mind well. I will speak. Yes, sir, said Potaliya. The Buddha said this.
Okay, thank you. Now you can see the terms change already. From here, you can see it change it to sir, okay? For ascetic gotama, worthy gotama, then change it to sir already. Okay, now what is sir in Pali? It should be Bante, yeah. Good gotama, householder, bo gotama. Now, okay, you can see here, change it to Bante already. So from here means that he's very respectable, very respect the Buddha's wisdom already. Okay. Now here you're talking about cutting off worry affair is one thing, but cutting off in a noble discipline is another way. Okay. That means that what the Buddha say is these 8 things, defilements, is cutting off in the training for the noble person. Yes?
I also thought of the word ayasma.
Ayasma means vulnerable also. Yes, also, yes. Ayasma means, means life. Ma is endowed with life. So in Chinese we call it Ju, what call it? Ju Shou. If you read the old Chinese, they call it Ju Shou, one who endowed with life. Okay, but it's same meaning with the Bante. No, it's Pali word. You can see here, this is the Pali word. Ayasma. Ayasma and Bante is same. So monks you can call Bante easier lah. If you want, you can call Asma. But Asma is nobody call it difficult. No. No, he follow the Pali. In Myanmar, we don't call the Ayasma one. This is a Pali. In Myanmar, all the monks they call Sayadaw. Young man they call Ubasin. So Ayasma is Pali word. Or you can call Bante because Ayasma is difficult to pronounce. So most people like Bante. Okay, like
we encounter Bante mostly very common ayasma. It's a context where use ayasma
Ayasma, sometimes monks to monks, they say, this ayasma, revata, ayasma, is possible. But now here, this word Bante is talking about because he's speaking to the Buddha. He addressed the Buddha from you call it the samaṇo gotama, then bo gotama, now Bante. So the terms changed 3 times already. You notice that? Okay.
Bante is for male or female, so they use service Bante or
Female, you can use Aya. Aye, Aye. Aya is a female, okay? Female is Aya. Aya means like this, Aya. Okay, Aya, like this lady. But the vocative is Aye. Okay, Aye, like Kanye, all right? Aye, Kanye, okay?
For example, after Arahan, what would they call them?
Aye, if you want. Aye, yes, okay. All right. Okay, now, so you all understand the cutting off of now the Buddha actually addressed his answer because Potaliya say he already cut off the business of giving away all the wealth and stop working, right? When the Buddha said the cutting away in terms of Arya means these 8 of them, reduce the great hatred delusion, okay, and then have no bad karma. But the answer is not yet. They say he want to okay. There is each and every aspect means thoroughly. How are you going to cut off thoroughly? Okay. Then the Buddha start already. This is there will be a lot of simile here, but it's good to read this one. Okay, next person can read. Yeah, the physical class student. Yes.
Okay. The dangers of sensual pleasures. Householder. Suppose a dog weak with hunger was hanging around a butcher's shop. A deaf butcher or their apprentice would toss them a skeleton scraped clean of flesh and smeared in blood. What do you think, householder? Gnawing on such a fleshless skeleton, would that dog still get rid of its hunger? No, sir. Why not? Because that skeleton is scraped clean of flesh and smeared in blood. That dog will eventually get weary and frustrated. In the same way, a noble disciple reflects. With the simile of a skeleton, the Buddha said that sensual pleasures give little gratification and much suffering and distress, and they are all the more full of drawbacks. Having truly seen this with right understanding, they reject equanimity based on diversity and develop only the equanimity based on unity, where all kinds of grasping to the worldly pleasures of the flesh cease without anything left over.
Okay. So this is a simile of what? Skeleton, skeleton with little flesh. So sometimes we can write the simile. So bones with little meat, very little. So no matter how the dog eat, he never satisfied, right? So there's a meaning of somebody who even try to enjoy the sensual pleasure, you only give little bit happiness only. So most of the time is a lot of suffering. So the dog might bite, but never be satisfied. So that's the meaning here. Okay. Now, second example. I think you want to finish this sutta or not? Because if we read all the example, it takes some time. Okay. You all want to go 9:30, right? Okay. So we skip the suttas. Okay. We skip the simile. Okay. So up to here is talking about all sorts of simile, the fruits tree, and so on. So even you have the fruits tree, you go and try to cut off the trees and also all the simile here. So anyway, there are some terms here, equanimity based on diversity and develop only economy based on unity. So this is a very technical terms. So all these simile we skip first. Okay, now this one we only have to look at the Pali, not very difficult to understand. What is it? I think I go somewhere. I'm trying to think. Okay, so let's go up some. Okay, so we based on the simile. Let's scroll down. Wait, now let me go down. I'm not familiar with this software. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Somewhere here. Never mind, it's difficult to search by this software. I'm not using this software. Okay, never mind, we leave it first. So we continue. All right. So then what he say is that they have developed some equanimity, right? Equanimity based on unity. And then they have this relying on supreme mindfulness and equanimity. So here normally refer to very deep jhana. Because if somebody want to see the past life, they have to rely on the fourth jhana. So you know there is a first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. Only the fourth jhana in Sutta. In Abhidhamma, we consider as fifth jhana because of different calculation. That's the highest jhana. Based on this jhana, they can use the psychic power to see the past life. Okay? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, hundreds, thousand. And then that is considered the most 100,000 a lot. Many aeons of the world. That means that it's many kappa, we call it kappa. So this is a very, very long. And not all the noble disciples can do it, only certain disciples. Because all these are very, very require lots of parami. So this is the first one, see the past life. Now the second one is clairvoyance. See passing away. Okay, being reborn here, pass away here, reborn here, pass away. So this is in Pali we call it right. The first one is called Pubbe Nivasanyana. So this is the see the like many past life. Past life. So this one is called divine eye. Divine eye, they can see the beings reborn, how they born, where they reborn. After they pass away, where they reborn. Like divine. When we say divine eye, it's kind of like deity divine eye, right? Okay. And then last one is more difficult. Last one will be called the this one. Okay, I think we read this one first. Okay, next person, the last one, read this one. Yes.
Relying on this supreme purity of mindfulness and equanimity, that noble disciple realizes the undefined freedom of heart and freedom by wisdom in this very life. And they live having realized it with their own insight due to the ending of defilements.
Okay. So freedom of heart normally refer to Cetto Vimutti, refer to samatha practice. Freedom of wisdom refer to vipassana practice. So that means that this person attain both samatha and vipassana. And due to the ending of defilement, that means that signify this person become arahant. So that's the Buddha say. Here is the cutting off of business in all the aspect, means that all the way up to arahant, the Buddha is teaching here. Okay. Okay, now continue, yes.
What do you think, householder? Do you regard yourself as having cut off business in a way comparable to the cutting off of business in each and every respect in the Nobles One's training? Who am I compared to one who has cut off business in each and every respect in the Nobles One's training? I am far from that, sir. I used to think that the wanderers following other religions were thoroughbreds, and I fed them and treated them accordingly. But they were not actually thoroughbreds. I thought that the mendicants were not thoroughbreds. But now I shall understand that the wanderers following other religions are not actually thoroughbreds, and I will feed them and treat them accordingly. And I shall understand that the mendicants actually are thoroughbreds, and I will feed them and treat them accordingly. The Buddha has inspired me to have love, confidence, and respect for ascetics.
Okay. Continue. Yes.
Excellent, sir. Excellent. As he were writing the overturn or reviewing the hidden or pointing out the path to the lost or lighting a lamp in the dark, so people with clear eyes can see what's there. The Buddha has made the teaching clear in many ways. I go for refuge to the Buddha, to the teaching, and to the mendicant Sangha. From this day forth, may the Buddha remember me as a lay follower who has gone for refuge for life.
Okay. So first you had this thoroughbred. When you say thoroughbred is what? Look at horse. So
breeding horses.
yeah. But why is they want to use this one Pali? This Pali word actually is quite interesting. They translate different way. This one they use the word ajaniya. Okay. Ajaniya. Okay. But actually the meaning ajaniya, if they are not thoroughbred, means they are anajaniya, because means that they don't understand. They really don't understand. Okay. So that's why they call it ignorance. They don't understand. Okay. So now the old way translate thoroughbred, but it look very strange. It look like horse. Okay. What I say that he used to feed them, give the other ascetic to feed them a lot, like horse lah. In another way, he's talking about like this. But actually now he realized that the medical means he's talking about the Buddhist monk. Yeah, the real, the one that I really know, right? So the Buddha inspired me to have love, confidence, respect for ascetic. Now he really like the Buddha. Now because of that, you can see this one. This is a standard paragraph when they are very delighted in Buddha teaching. You can read many of the Majjhima Nikaya like this. And the last one is signify that he take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. This is a standard, okay? So I go to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha for refuge. So this is a standard phrase. And may the Buddha remember as a lay follower. And you can see after he listened to Buddha, thought he take refuge, but he didn't ordain. He didn't ask for enlightenment. He didn't ask for ordination, right? So he just happy with his life. Okay, that's the result that he never say, I want to go forth, because he's still very happy with his worldly life. Okay, so we finish this sutta. I want to look at the Pali for this Pali. This one, just now this one. Cetu Vimutti, Panya Vimutti. Okay, liberation of mind, liberation of wisdom. So Cetu Vimutti refer to the deep concentration. Panya Vimutti means refer to insight knowledge. This is a standard for course you can see in many sentences here. Now here thoroughbred also. Okay, and finally, okay, normally Abhikanda Bante, you know, and then this one here. You see? Etam aham bande bhagavatam saranang gacchami dhammamcha bhikkhu sanghacha. So this is a formal refuge they take in their time. Just verbally say like this, right? So aham bhagavatam saranam gacchami dhammam cha and bhikkhu cha. Okay, upasakam. May the Buddha Dharetu remember me from today onwards. I am the upasaka, as a disciple of the lay disciple, a male lay disciple of the Buddha. Okay. Okay, so we finish like this. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. So we see how many students. Any online student, do you want to ask anything? You know, we share the merits, okay? Okay, so we have requests for sharing the merits today. Yeah. Okay. So today we will share the merits with Guan Hoc Tek, okay, the father of Dr. Gan, okay? Gan Hoc Tek, yeah. He also a doctor? No, okay. Okay, so just okay, simple one. Now, why we put V instead of idam me, you know? People ask me why we don't put the idam me. Because idam no, we take it more general, you know, not just my relative, it's also my relative, your relative. So may the merits we can share with more departed one. Okay. So please follow after me. Sharing merits with the departed one and with all sentient beings. Imano punya bagam sapa satanam dema. Imano punya bagam sapa satanam dema. Imano punya bagam sapa satanam dema. Idam no nyatina hotu sugita hontu nyataro. Idam punya sugita ida ida kita hontu nyataro. Okay, we share this merit with all sentient beings. May they obtain this merit and be very happy. Let this merit go to our departed relatives, to the Mr. Gan Hotek, okay, to Mr. Gan Hotek, who passed away how many days ago?
5 days.
5 days ago, all right. Age? 86, okay. May we share our marriage with the departed one, Gan Hotek, who passed away 5 days ago. Okay. So we also share with the deities. Agasata cha Brahmata Deva Vidika Punyam Tam Anumotitva Chirang Tantu Sasana Agasata cha Brahmata Deva Vidika Punyam Tam Anumotitva Chirakakantu Desan Agasata Chabumata Dev Vidika Punya Tuman Parti Arura Rogya Sampati Saga Sampati Mewacha Agoni Sampati Imina Te Kami Chato Devo Vasatu Kayena Sasa Sampati Hotu Cha Pito Bawa Turoko Cha Raja Tuta Go Aspiration Ada Imaya Patipata Jaram Parimuchisa Ida Me Punya Asalokaya Otu Ida Me Punya Nivanasa Acharya Otu Ida Me Sila Maga Pala Nasa Acharya Imina Punya Kamela Mameta Samadana Satam Samadana Hotu Yavanipa Patiya Buddha Sasanam Chiram Titato Buddha Sasanam Chiram Titato Buddha Sasanam Chiram Titato. May the Buddha dispensation teaching last long in the world. Sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we can finish by saying, yeah. Yeah, okay, pay respect to Buddha Namaste.
Okay.